Alrighty guys, welcome. How are we, ladies and gents? As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening. Hope you're all having a good day, good morning, whatever, good evening, wherever you are. Hope you've had a good week so far, on and off the charts. So we'll see what we've got moving forward into the last day of the week. It's been a fantastic start to August, to the new month, which is my best month of the year, trading wise. July. It's been a really good start to August, and we'll see what we can come up with moving forward today. Let's have a look at news, what we've got moving forward into today's session. For our particular session, London session, there is not much going on. Some yellow follow news, nothing that really we should have much of an impact. Obviously just had the Swiss CPI released. I mean, other than that, there is no red follow news until NY session with the big one, NFP, to come. So going to be a huge day for gold and the US dollar and the majors. That is 30 minutes into NY session, so be very wary of that for those of you who will be trading around that time of day. Nonetheless, what we will be doing is analyzing GJ and the gold. Also any other pairs that you guys would like me to take a look at. So without further ado, let's get started, guys. Let's get cracking with the analysis, and as we normally do, let's start with GJ to begin. In the meantime, guys, don't forget, smash the like button, do say g'day, send in some charts, ask questions, and I'll get to those shortly. So on to GJ, and we can see based off the weekly, very strong bearish candle. Look at that. That is a massive candle. Never seen one before. Let's just mark in. Wow, you've got over 1,000 pips there. That's a huge drop in 1 week. So the momentum, it's fair to say, is to the downside. Doesn't take a genius to work that one out. So based off the back of that, what I prefer to do moving into the last day of the trading week is simply wait for price to either A, pull back within its candle to a level that I've marked in on a 30-minute or 4-hour as a potential level price could reject, wait for my catalyst to present in order to take it sell back down towards the current weekly candle low, and B, the second option, sells upon continuation below the low. Now to the left hand side, got a little bit of margin, so down to that weekly support. We'll see what we've got. Obviously, once we go down to the daily 4-hour and M30, onto the daily time frame, we've got counter probabilities to the downside along with the structure. So I'm now just going to adjust this horizontal to the current daily candle's low. Again, if we were in this, because we do have the lower high, lower low, if we were to continue bearish, we really have no need to break the high of the current daily candle. Gonna be hard for me to trust any buys, but we'll mark it in anyway just to see what we've got above that level. Now onto the 4-hour time frame, obviously in a big downtrend as well. We've got a level that we have not yet retested on the 4-hour anyway. Previous level of support we broke out of yesterday, so that is potential pullback level 191 flat. So that is the first potential level that I've determined on the 4-hour that price within the current weekly candle could pull back to grab a little bit more liquidity from the candle itself before it ends up pushing back or moving back in line with the strength of the current weekly candle. To the downside, let's mark in some support, and let's see, have we got any margin whatsoever below it? Looks like we do. Looks like we're we'll have enough margin, but it looks of it just depends, because the volume on these candles have been huge on GJ of late. Onto the 30-minute, we can see that is also technically bearish. Now I feel this zone is still relevant. Reason being is the 30-minute structure is going to flip just below that zone. So just on when price starts to close above this swing point here, that is when at this point the 30-minute structure will flip. Maybe at that point there, if we start to pop above the resistance, previous support, which could act as resistance to resistance, if it starts to pop above it, that is probably the only point where I'd consider looking for any potential buy. But I'm not going to bother planning for the buys at the moment. I'd rather trade in line with the strength of the current weekly candle. Going to mark in the most recent resistance formed within current daily candle, and also going to mark in most recent support, which was just formed on the previous candle. So seeing we're just created a lower low within the current daily candle, and that at that low we formed another support. If we were to continue bullish now, there is not much need for us to pull back and break the low of the current daily candle yet again, that support. If we do so, there's a high probability at that point there that price will continue to the downside. Moving to the left hand side here, we can see we made a clean move up off that support. We got straight bullish candles. So if price, we can also adjust this zone to the downside, gives us a little bit more margin. If price was to then begin to break below the current daily candles low, at that point there's a high probability we will continue to the downside. So sells below the current daily candles low, just have to see how we approach that level for entry options, entry type. And sells upon the pullback is what I will be looking for today during this session on GJ. Very straightforward, guys, very simple plan to follow. So it's either pull back to retest that resistance, and I want to see a resistance hold, and I'll look for my catalyst win price action to sell it. Otherwise sells from below the support. Very simple process to follow. So that is GJ, guys. Hopefully it makes sense. If it does, make sure to smash that like button, guys. Let everyone know we are on stream, TikTok as well, TikTok and YouTube. Welcome one and all. And in the meantime, get the fluff out of my lip. Now I can take a look at gold. All right, so that was the chart sent into the members, and wow, look at that. Look at that. Absolutely perfect. Those levels, weren't they? With levels of respected. Just saw that too. All right, so anyway, nonetheless, let's do the analysis. So on gold today, I'll be looking for buys by the looks of it. We've got the weekly forming a very strong bullish candle. So once again, what I'm going to do is likely look to minor time frames to see where we could potentially pull back to form a support above and head back up in line. So pull back to and then form a support above and head back in line with the weekly candle itself, and potential continuation buys, but we're gonna have to wait and see what we've got above that level, because we are at a high time frame resistance. We've got that wick to the left on the weekly time frame. Now onto the daily. Now previous daily did close back a pause candle, albeit a doji, almost very weak bearish candle. We have now broken the high of that candle, high low, high high. Based off that is a high probability we will continue to the upside. I'm just going to mark in that previous daily candles high as a potential level, and there's likely going to be a zone there that we could look for price to form a support above to take a buy back up in line towards the current daily candles high. So we have tapped into some resistance though on the daily. We are bullish in structure. We are back near that all-time high. Obviously a lot of stuff going on around the world right now, so money's been put back into gold, a safe haven. All right, onto the 4 hour. That is also technically bullish. We also have counter probabilities to the upside. I don't have much of a lower wick though. Let's just see if there's any catalyst below that point. What I'm going to do is mark in some support and resistance. Gonna be a big zone, but I will adjust it accordingly on the M30 to the downside, to the upside, tapping into resistance here. Once again, I'll be likely adjusting that on the 30-minute time frame. All right, so on the 30-minute, I'm gonna have to draw in a few more zones just here. All right, so the 30 minutes also technically bullish. The point of where structural flip bearish is below that support there, so that lines up with some previous resistance to the left. So I'm just going to mark that level in, and what I'm going to be looking for is, so that is for me a potential level that price could pull back to. Also now retesting that resistance we have broken. Look, potentially if we form a support above it, but I'm going to just remove that horizontal. We don't really have a zone at that point there. We are obviously, we can see we're tapping into some resistance here to the left. Could just adjust this across a little bit, but even then it's going to be difficult buying into it. Above that level, we've got some pretty clean traffic pushing deeper into that 4 hour range, 4 hour zone, sorry. But again, we are at a high time frame resistance. So still, let's see, let's just see what we got, how much margin we got. So if price was to break the current daily candles high, start to pop above at 24.68.95, we do have some clean traffic all the way up towards that 24.72.22 roughly, and we'll likely at that point they're going to retest the all-time high yet again. So buys above that level upon continuation, in my opinion, would make sense. We're now pulled back, we're tapped into that resistance, we're now pulling back as well to grab some more liquidity. So if we start to pop above it, I could just drag this down now as well, guys. If we start to pop above that resistance, then at that point there, to me, there's a high probability we will continue to if we pull back and so I lost my train of thought just there. If we form a support and begin to retest the resistance and break above the current daily candles high, there's a high probability we will continue to the upside. Onto the 15-minute, I just want to check that out. We've got support at this point here. That is also a potential level that we could pull back to form a support back above around that 24.58 to 57 sort of level. If price was to tap into that level only to bounce off it, then I would also be considering a buy from that point there. So all about the buys on gold. It's just a matter of where upon continuation or upon a pullback at the moment, and that is likely what I'm going to be waiting for. So hopefully it makes sense. Pretty simple analysis once again. Make sure if you agree, smash the like button, and if you don't agree, smash that like button. I just don't have much of a choice. That is gold, and that is GJ. So the preference focus likely to be GJ at the moment. However, these candles are monstrous. They've still got a lot of volume, meaning stop loss is wide. How did we go yesterday, guys? So called a nice trade on the stream towards the end of it, and I hope some of you guys got the gold entry. I really hope so. We analyzed it perfectly and it played out an absolute treat. Where was it? Here yesterday. Yeah, just here. So took it. A lot of members took it, which was good to see. Just here was the entry, just below that bullish candle, that pause candle. So it's what we're looking at towards the end of the stream. Played out an absolute treat, and yeah, so we took advantage of that. Just gonna remove this zone. Alrighty guys, who we got here today? First of all, TikTok, g'day to all you guys. Pixels, do you have spreadsheets? Spreadsheets, you mean a journal? I journal everything in my Discord, my VIP Discord. Time frame gold, well, I start from the weekly down to daily. Executions based off the 30 and M15. That's for laser crypto man. YouTube, one and all. Who we got here today? Anita, hello sweetheart. There's my lovely lady. Great to see you in the stream. Speak to you later, darling. Kyle F, good morning to you, brother. Dot, Chef Wilson, good morning. Good afternoon. Yep, good morning to you. James, good morning, mate. Hope you're well. Tommy Jordan, as always, good to see you. Uma, Chef Wilson, can you please take a look at EJ? I'm looking for sells. EJ, yes, I most certainly can take a look at that for you. Yeah, we just went over gold. GGPM, do you have some minor support? You do have some minor support all the way to the left in GJ for sells. Below margin is very small. Not concerned about that. No, with the momentum and with the volume in these candles, not one bit. And to be honest, looking to the left of it, it's actually quite clean. So let's just mark in a horizontal from the current level. If we're to the left of that, I'm not at all concerned by that. The probabilities are, if we begin to break the current daily candles low, we are trending to downside, lower highs, lower lows, that we're going to break through that level. There's a high probability in my opinion, and we've got some very clean traffic to the left. Off the strength, back of the strength and volume of the current weekly candle, in my opinion, is still a valid entry, irrespective of that minor support. Ian, good morning to you, brother. EJ. Was EJ, wasn't it? So very similar to GJ. Starting it weekly and is a very, very strong bearish candle at the moment. So based off that, but seeing it's a Friday, I'd really only be interested in the sales. Or similar to GJ, you got a tiny bit of margin to the downside till you tap into that daily support. You're bearish in structure, you're bearish in the 4 hour. It's going to be bearish across the board. what I'd be doing is marking in, well, technically got some resistance at the support just here on the 4 hour. As far as support on the 4 hour, let's look to the left of that. Looking very similar to GJ. Pretty much you could take the analysis on GJ and just look for the exact same thing on EJ. Not as much margin though, but it looks a bit to the downside. Onto the M30. Just adjust this. Support you've got, I'd be marking this level, and then you got to look to the left to see, could you now adjust this zone to the downside? And it looks like it can, so lead traffic up. So now I'll be just adjusting this to that point there, and what that's likely going to mean is you might have the margin. So I'd be waiting for the closure below that bullish candle's low, below the support, and EJ would be valid for sells to take it back down towards 160.30. Otherwise, sells upon the pullback. Exact same analysis as GJ. We've got 7 minutes until London Open, guys, so looks like it will be GJ as the focus. Sketchman's more into you. Now I wanted to look at something, but I can't remember. Getting old, guys, lose my train of thought again. Alright, so on to GJ on my MetaTrader. Once again, guys, Friday, lower the lot sizes, in my opinion, I do it anyway. Wider stop loss on GJ's as well of late, so requires a, in my opinion, small lot size, wider stop loss, give it a little bit more room. Been a fantastic week personally, 4-0, so I'm willing to risk a little bit of the profit, not a problem at all. I hope you guys have had a good one. So at the moment we're looking for GJ sells. Now being London Open as well, want to see the upper wick form prior to any entry. As a catalyst for an impulse, this candle needs to close pretty much where it is if it doesn't break just now. Otherwise, closures below it, retest, potential limit orders as well. We'll have to wait and see. Let's just quickly look at GU. So I'm not going to go into too much detail because we're very close to the Open of London. But it looks like very similar analysis to GJ as well. Very strong weekly. Daily counter probably is to downside. Looks a bit cleaner though. 4 hour, yeah, GU looks fantastic for continuation sales. 4 hour rejecting. Broken high at the previous. If it begins to break the low of the support, then high probability we will continue to downside. Clean traffic to the left. GU sales look fantastic. Very quick analysis, but it looks really good. You got plenty of confluences to look for a sell. Otherwise, I'd probably focus on that resistance just to give you a bit more margin. If price was to pull back, reject around at 127.50, psychological round number, and look for the sells from higher up as well. That would be GU. Pretty short, sharp analysis. 3 minutes remaining, so focus is GJ. And now, if this closes strong, bearish, engulfing, my next option is the limit order, guys. And that would be back at the low of that bullish candle. ARA, I bought on 2464.65. 2464.65. Alright, so you're in profit. If it were me coming to London Open, I'd be at break even and I'd probably start securing something. Lockie, Dean, good day to you guys, welcome. Now, if gold closes up near the high, could also maybe provide a potential option to buy it. So what I'd be wanting to see on gold is a strong closure, engulfing the body, preferably engulfing the wick itself as well. So long as it engulfs the body, closes up near its high, buys on gold would also be valid, guys. So there could be options. You have to be ready though, guys. Zoo. Sorry, members, I've been a bit of a rush today. All right, minute and a half. So for the limit order to be valid, I want it to close significantly below. These candles have a heap of volume at the moment. Otherwise, I'm just going to wait for it to create the upper wick. For GJ at the moment to move 5 to 10 pips, doesn't take much. Just over a minute remaining. All right, likely I'd be looking for continuation sells. Now I want it to create a decent upper wick because that's likely gonna have to be a stop loss. The stop losses are huge at the moment. I'd probably have to stop loss back above that support, to be honest, just to give it a little bit more breathing room. Yeah, so I want it to close below though. Want it to close below. Lowest point is 8.9. So around 189.370 is where I'd be looking for a potential option to sell GJ just now. I want it to create an upper wick. And wow, forget it. Needs an upper wick, guys. It needs an upper wick. How about gold? So it's not closed strong enough in my opinion. It's closed back below the resistance. GJ creates an upper wick, so it still could be an option. Don't want to keep dropping though. It's gone, forget it. What can you do, guys? It's what it is. It is what it is. I always prefer the upper wick. Now it's just spot on again. Not always going to get your option, but yeah, what can you do? Maybe some of you took it. Well done if you did. So now we're going to be likely focused on gold, but need closures. Need closures, but at a very strong level of resistance. So don't just buy it thinking that it's going to break. I want the confirmation, so I want to see it close above on the 30 and then potentially GU. And oh man, that was quick on GJ, wasn't it? Tankless cracker. Is it hard to start learning, and is it profit really worth it? Just interested. It takes a lot of patience and discipline, and a lot of people enter the Forex markets for the wrong reason. They think it's a get rich quick thing, and in all honesty, it's going to take you a hell of a long time to actually learn first of all analysis and the terminology and all that sort of stuff, and how price action works. It's going to take you ages to come up with a strong plan and some rules, some solid rules. But look, if you are committed to it and you want to learn and you're putting in the time and effort, then it can be done. Obviously, if I can do it, anyone can do it. It's not for everyone. I've heard even a lot more intelligent people than me. I'm not the smartest bloke at all, just a common bloke, but I'm pretty good at trading Forex, really good with the analysis and picking up certain patterns within price action to use to my advantage. But look, I've heard lawyers and doctors say that, like, and they're, you know, obviously some of the smartest people in the world, that they just can't do it. It's a nut they cannot crack, so it's not for everyone. But a lot of people just give up right when they're not far away from actually achieving some success. That's the issue. Director, good day to you. FBI, good day to you. Hope you're not come on the stream to check me out. Doing some background research on the man. The FBI in the house, guys. GPM, you to go. Don't know about that. I'm just, honestly, I don't think I'm the GOAT. I just think I'm really good at what I'm doing, to be honest. Very patient, very disciplined, and that's what is required if you want to be a good trader. How is that entry we looked at yesterday on the New York call? Absolute hurler. Absolute cracking entry on gold. Didn't take it personally. I already took 2 wins for today, but it could not have been any better, to be honest. On the interruption. Where was it? Just there. Literally tapped into that level, bounced off it, no draw out. Absolute spot on. Could not have called it any better. All right, so now let's reassess, guys. So I need a pause again. We've still got margin. That's a good thing. We're still with some margin to the downside. We tapped in. We're not yet tapped into that previous support we have just broken. Ideally, I want to see price pull back to tap into it. If at some point we get a pause, so a minor bearish, or sorry, a minor support forming on a 15-minute time frame, a weak support, so a counter closing weak bullish with maybe perhaps a long wick to the upside, that could suffice for a potential entry as price begins to break below that pause candle. So it's not completely written off yet, guys. Just means we reassess when the original plan doesn't quite tick the box. So looking at Bitcoin. All right, those interested. FBI just here to support. All good, mate. All good. Appreciate it. Welcome everyone on TikTok. FX Scorpion Boys. FCS. Sorry, Scorpion FC Scorpion Boys. Nick. G'day. Welcome, guys. All right, Bitcoin. Let's take a look at it. Looking at the weekly. So obviously Bitcoin has still a few days remaining, seeing it's a 24/7 asset class. Now, strong weekly candle though forming to the downside. Rejecting this previous resistance at 70k, tapping into it, and strong rejection yet again. Pulling back within the candle, so once again looking to see where potentially we could make those pullbacks to form a resistance, head back down. But looking at the daily, we've bounced off some support here to the left, closed the liquidity candle. So what I mean by that is we've bounced off this support, left a long wick, so we actually broke below it, only to leave long wick to the downside and close back above that support. So that what that suggests to me is we've grabbed liquidity from the range below. Now, what likely happens on the following day, a scenario I often see play out, is the new candle will just open up, maybe a smaller wick, and it begins to break the high of the previous, because we don't really need to keep pulling back to grab liquidity. That candle pretty much did that liquidity grab for us. Now, this candle has pulled back, however, to that support yet again. So if it was to begin to break it, then I feel it's a high probability that we will continue perhaps to the downside in line with that weekly candle. However, if we were to break above that previous daily candle's high, then there's a high probability we'll push back up towards that next resistance just above that 68k level. On to the 4 hour. Now I'd probably just adjust this zone now. to include the lowest point for 4-hour support, and we see that's bounced off the support here to the left hand side as well. Structure wise, it still remains bearish. By the way, the daily structure was bullish, but we count probabilities to the downside. Resistance, so this is our 4-hour range between 65.60 and 62.270 roughly. We are bullish in structure. Actually, we'll flip the structure. That was the lowest point. This is the swing prior to, well, the origin of the swing to the downside, and now we've obviously closed above it, so flipping the structure bullish at a 4-hour support. So that is a strong catalyst. The issue is not a great deal of margin up to the next resistance. 30-minute structure is also bullish, so believe it or not, structures, the bias is flipped, and it's flipped at a really good level for it to flip. It's flipped at a 4-hour support, so there's plenty of margin to take it back up if it does continue to trend to the upside. So my first potential entry point for me on Bitcoin would be 64,663. Wait for closure above that point there, preferably on the M30 time frame. Wait for it to tap in, close above it, retest, pull away. Likely next destination is 65.40, so that would be the target. Above that level there as well, you got potential buys above that as well. Wow, GJ is melting. I'd look for a continuation buys above that point as well, guys. Again, it's bullish. We've got clean traffic to the left as well. Now, further buys from support. So form support within the current daily candle at 63,870. So if price was to pop back down to that level and provide my signal within price action, I would also consider a potential buy from that point there. And from the lows, if again, we're still going to be bullish at that point on the 30-minute and the M30. Also the daily, so buys above the support lows as well. Now, as far as the sells, I'd be looking for rejection of the resistance. Look for price to pop up to 65.50 level. I need to reject, or potential sell options to take it back down in line with the weekly candle, the strength of the current weekly candle. So that's why I would consider sells irrespective of the bias at the moment. Probably not going to have the margin within the current range, to be honest. And sells below support, so seeing within a current daily candle form support above 63.60. If we were to continue bullish, there is not much of a need for us to pull back down and break that support. Looking to the left of that support, we can see we've got some very clean traffic and move straight, clean move up to bullish candles, straight bullish candles. So if we were to begin to pop below at 63.660, retest it and pull away from it, at that point there's a high probability price will be coming back down to 62,930 roughly. So that is my opinion of Bitcoin, for those of you who are interested. But yeah, thank you for the sub, by the way. Look at that. So the analysis is spot on. Just no upper wick, and it's preference. It's all personal preference, guys. I always say to my team, the VIP members, you want to be comfortable in a trade. So ask yourself, what would make you feel comfortable? First thing you do your analysis, determine what levels on the chart you want to get involved in a trade. Second thing you got to do is create some rules. So what you want to see at that level as price is approaching. So for me, closure below, tick the box. But what I always prefer to see, just makes me feel more comfortable prior to an entry, is if I had that, just the little one, if nothing else, some sort of retest of that zone, a small upper wick, and then I would have taken every single day of the week, would have taken that sell. Is what it is. Sometimes it's not going to play ball, most of the time it will. So justice, not today, no. Thank you for sharing the live. Whoever shared it on TikTok. Welcome, one and all. Appreciate you for joining. And thank you for the follows. Guys, are we in any trades at the moment? YouTube, TikTok. How's the week been? Talk to me, guys. Feel free to ask questions. Hey, just curious, is plus 500 any good? FBI? No, I don't recommend plus 500. to be honest. The spreads are crazy. Reputable brokers, I would use IC Markets. Xauusd is a really good broker, but the spreads aren't the greatest. But as far as customer service, really good. Heard good things about Blueberry Markets. I've never used it before though. I actually have an account, but I've never funded it. I'd recommend IC Markets because you get pretty tight spread, really tight spreads. And as a scalper, that's essential for me to have tight spreads. What that means is I'm getting in at a better price than most others, to be honest. On Xauusd, my spread for the most part was around 2 pips on GJ. On IC Markets, it's 0.5 most of the time. So that means I'm getting triggered in at a discount rate, really, compared to other brokers with the smaller spreads. Obviously, you got to think about commissions and that as well. All right, so if anyone was to consider gold sells, which again, I'm strictly following my rules today, so I won't be. If this candle closed bearish engulfing, it would be a catalyst. You're tapped into a 4-hour resistance. But again, as per my rules on a Friday, I trade in line with the strength from the current weekly candle. It's just the rule I have. But bearish engulfing in any other sort of circumstance from a 4-hour resistance would be sufficient. Anything other than that would not at this point, because we're then just really putting barcodes. So you want a catalyst, and that would be that engulfing candle. So let's watch it. And it's not engulfing, so I'd be waiting for the 30-minute. On to the next time frame. Reassess. If this 30-minute closed bearish engulfing, it would be valid again. Call F, nothing going here, waiting for gold buys. Yeah, nice one, mate. The Merkos, good day to you, welcome. Weedy, thank you for the follow. FBI as well, thank you guys. TikTok, appreciate it. Ryan, good day to you. Kale Kelly, good day to you. I am Tree. FBI, fair value gaps only happen when there's break of structure. To be honest, fair value gaps, for me, it's just clean candles. I don't trade fair value gaps or anything like that. I just trade pure price action at certain levels, wait for my candles to form, my signal candles to form at certain levels on the chart, which I've determined that I'd like to get involved in a trade. So break of structure, not always. I mean, sometimes you get some clean, nice, really clean candles. Thank you for the sub within a range itself. Like for instance here, clean move down, clean move up. It's not breaking any structure really. That actually, I lie, it did break structure. It broke structure just here, to be honest. But then pull back, another clean move down, clean move up, broke structure again. So not always. You'll see it happen in a range as well. Continuation of structure, yes, you'll see it happen regularly. Continuation of structure, for instance, just here, and just here. And gold is also gone, so it is what it is. There's no FOMO. No FOMO ever in this house, that's for sure. Fish Fingers, good day to you. KS Shuduka, good day to you. All right, so on GJ, let's reassess. So we've got a 15-minute candle closing, strong bearish. If I am to consider any sell on the next M30, this candle cannot begin to shit the bed. It needs to stop, pause, flip, and close back weak bullish. If it does so, what it's done at that point there is create a minor support within the move to the downside, start clean traffic to the left. Now if support was to hold, then likely what should happen is, or the probabilities are, that it will respect the low of that candle, head back up, retest this resistance week, potentially later on look for a sell. However, if support fails and price begins to pop below a support formed, then we know there's a high probability it's going to head back down to the next level of support, which is around at 188.80. So unless I have something like that present, I'm not chasing GJ. It's just not worth it. Pat, good day to you. So all is not lost yet, guys, on GJ. Should have opened my big mouth, should I? So in zero for your mouth, they're just melting it. Wow, big sell off on NAS as well. Ooh, what's happened here? Did I or did I not mention about a couple weeks back that if NAS drops below 20k, look out for a big sell off, because it's a psychological round number. A big number, and I feel a lot of people holding from well lower down, some of the ETFs and in some of these high-tech stocks, especially the big seven. A lot of them would have sold out I reckon around those highs, and as soon as perhaps it started to drop back down towards that 20k, which triggered a bigger landslide. And look at it now, a massive drop from the all-time high. Let's just measure it. Yeah, it's over 10% in a couple weeks. That is a huge drop, and it would not surprise me if it continues with everything going on around the world. I expect it doesn't necessarily have to happen, but fundamentally commodities such as gold and silver, the precious metals, are likely going to be more sought after, which obviously could lead to prices pushing upwards. Not financial advice. Jackson 188050. 18050. What's a psychological round number? For me, I don't just place limit orders at levels like, well, in this instance, when we're so far away from it, I don't just place a buy at a buy limit in anticipation it's going to bounce off that particular level. I would rather see how price approaches it. But I understand your concept, or why you might be thinking that. So it's not a bad level, definitely not a bad level to look for a buy. Sandip, good day to you, my friend. Weedy, good day to you. And V1, welcome guys. Alright, look at GJ. So with the amount of volume we've got in GJ at the moment, this past few weeks, it still could be a chance where it actually pulls up to retest this zone, rejects and closes weak bearish. If that is to be the case, sells on the next candle on this following M30. Goats, good day to you, my friend. So waiting on GJ at the moment. And for those interested, gold below support. Just Just depends where it closes though, because at the moment it's made quite the push into the range below. Not sure if you really got the margin. Maybe. You wouldn't want it to push anymore, to be honest, to the downside. You wouldn't want it to pull back too much as well. You want it to close a little bit stronger bearish and wait for the new candle to pull back, tap into this support. That potentially could could then make the entry a valid one on the following candle, as long as it taps in, rejects to closure below, retest, and as it breaks low off your catalyst candle, keep an eye on that. Those interesting gold, but I'm focused on GJ. I'm not going to trade against the trend on gold on a Friday. GJ is with the trend. V1, thank you for sharing. Appreciate you. A lot of volume in these candles, heaps of volume on GJ. Okay, looking at GU, sells up, closing below our support. Oh wow, GU. This thing's also been absolutely dying of late this week. It's been a massive move to the downside. Yeah, it does look pretty good. As per the analysis as well. Over here, yeah, the same thing in the chart you send into the VIP, the Discord. So strong moves though. Wow. Have you got a 5-minute retest? Not yet. Still valid though. I would prefer to see the retest though. Nagash Montana, good day to you. BMI for a hello retest is necessary. Franco, I agree. Wow, look at GJ. Volume is berserk right now. So it's retested. Let's see if it rejects in the next 3 minutes. And if it doesn't, very simple, very simple analysis. Next candle's close bearish engulfing. Notice how I reassess this candle print. I don't react to like it as the candle's printing itself. So if I create the rule, for instance, that if this candle closes as is, for me to have a valid entry on the next candle, I need the bearish engulfing candle. Simple rule that I've created that I know works for me, and that is the only way I will consider selling it on the next candle. Very simple. There's no if, buts, maybes. It's not, oh shit, it looks like it's breaking our stuff, I'm going to jump in, does this, and then bounces back up and you get caught in a mess. Just keeping it as simple and rule based as possible, because that is what works best for me, and I hazard a guess it works best for the majority. Yeah, just to stick to your plan. G'day to you, BM14A. Welcome. 1 4 a 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 wel BMI 140. And it's been a long day, guys. It's Alpha. Good day to you. Alright, so GJ pulling back further. All good. So let's watch gold then, because GJ is not gonna, by the looks of it, present. Not quite retested. Mira, good day to you. To any of the members in the chat, obviously I'll be around if you guys are available for the accountability call. Probably about 10 minutes after the stream. Look at gold popping back above, so for me that'd be no confirmation. Needs to close below it, minimum. Once again, we are in an uptrend. So whilst we're in the uptrend, we just create a bit of a pullback and respect the support, respect levels of support, or even create a higher low and continue to trend to the upside. So for me, there is no sells. There is no real confirmation to buy it. Still close the relatively strong bearish M30 candle. I'd simply be waiting on gold and GJ. Obviously, it's closed way too strong of a bullish candle in M15. It's closed the M30 back bullish. Not interested in buying it on Friday against the trend. So I just need to wait. Michelle, you'll be available. Oh, no worries, mate. John O'Cox, how much money do you actually make as a percent? As a percent? Just depends, because what, per trade or per month, per week? Per trade, I risk usually anywhere between 1 and about 4% a trade. That 4% is really high though. That's on the high end for most traders. I mean, most traders have risk around 1 to 2%. So my returns, I mean, last month, really good return. Really good return between a few different accounts. Well, I think it was well over 10. It was about around 12%. I'm pretty sure it was roughly around that, give or take. And last month there was just one small loss amongst all the wins. So it just depends. Just depends, my friend. On a certain trade, I can win anywhere between sometimes 0.5 up to around 3% on one particular trade, sometimes more. And at the same time, you can lose a couple percent. But generally speaking, I'm really good with trade management. So I don't generally lose more than 1% most of the time. I hate drawdown, so I always wait for ways to manage my risk. Constantly doing that. John O'Cox, I want to learn how to trade, but I'm conflicted between long, short term. Is it worth learning? Well, for me, I think it's definitely worth learning. What I prefer is scalping on the short term, to be honest, because It means I don't have to worry about trade open overnight or over the weekend, for instance, paying swap fees and all that sort of stuff. Also, you don't have to worry about being impacted by the news. You can just trade around the news when you're scalping. And with the scalping, just bigger lot sizes, I can get the same return as well as getting swing trading, if not more, just in a much shorter time frame. So for me, it suited my personality. Swing trading might be more for you. A lot of people do prefer swing trading. I just didn't enjoy it because I'd be in positions, wake up overnight, check my position. If the position wasn't going too well, it was affecting me emotionally. With scalping, believe it or not, a lot of people have problems with psychology, with scalping, the emotions. None at all for me, because it's all rule based. It's a strict system I follow. I have a strict set of rules and a plan that I follow on the daily, and that's what works best for me. So that eliminates as much emotion as possible. John, how much do you put in? So once again, anywhere between 1 and 4% generally, because I use fixed lot sizes. Mr. Phil, good day, mate. I hope you're well. I'm good, mate. It's been a good week. Really good start to August, the new month. Had a really good session with VIP yesterday. That, man, those NY sessions, it's where all the gold is at, basically. It's going to full on educational mode as well. John O'Cox, but I recommend going to start learning. Good way to start is just by watching streams, to be honest. I think you can learn a lot from watching me trade live on the daily. I do some on the daily. You can watch me here, or you can watch me on YouTube. On YouTube, you get to see my beautiful face and all. No, on YouTube, you get more content on YouTube, to be honest. Yeah, what else? Other than that, I mean, I would also check out Gbpjpy just to understand the terminology. That's a good start. So it's just, I'll type it into the chat for you. Just check out Gbpjpy.com, and that will help you as far as terminology and what stop loss and all that stuff is. It's the essentials you need to know about. And once you understand a little bit more, you can obviously understand more about what I'm saying on these streams. And yeah, you can figure it out with something you can make work for yourself or might not be suitable. Bearish engulfing, guys. Bearish engulfing. Massive issue, stop loss. Bearish engulfing, upper wick, stop loss. So this is what I've been looking for. At least engulfing the body, minimum, and close to the low. Stop loss is huge based off the technical level, like previous candle. So stop loss will be upper wick. There's your stop loss. There's your target. Makes it difficult to manage because your stop loss is based off the entry candle. So that being said, what I would suggest is lower your lot sizes. Mr. Phil, looking at JSLs on the 2-hour flip. Yeah. Be breaking by the looks of it, that support at the same time below the previous candle's low. So I'm assuming you're taking it there. Otherwise, just be a little bit careful about that support. If you're taking it as it flips its own candle. But I'm sure you've fully analyzed it all and you're more than aware and happy to take your trade either way. Franco, you're in. All right, nice one. I'm assuming you either took the limit order or you've taken it as a flipped. If that's the case, you're looking really good, my friend. FBI, baby pips is where the basics at. Yep, and YouTube is huge help in learning trade. A lot of free courses. Yeah, it's just good to see watch people trade live. That's, I feel, the best way to learn. It's all well and good to be given a course, but if you don't understand anything that's going on, it doesn't really help. Esther, you're sold GJ from 190 to 780. Wow. Should you hold or should you close? Do you think account continue to push down downward to 185, 176 as these points to resistance in the daily time frame? First of all, what I would be saying is, so 192, 780. Let's just do the math. 780. So that's right there. You're currently in 336 pip profit. If it were me, I would not be greedy at all. I'd be securing some profit. Coming towards the weekend, you're approaching a support. Yes, it can continue to the downside, but it doesn't have to. It can also bounce whenever it wants to. As far as a level to the left, I think you're pretty much tapped into one, to be honest. 189, 150 is a potential level. If it were me, I really would have probably, well, I definitely would secure the whole bag by now. But if nothing else, please tell me you are trailing your stop loss. And what I mean by that is maybe trail your stop loss to the swing points. The most recent swing point is this level here now at around that 195 50 190.5. sorry, I'd just be trailing my stop loss. If you're wanting to keep it open in anticipation and it does make sense for it to continue to downside, I just wanted to respect levels on any pullback, and I'd be satisfied if it begun to break a level on the pullback. I'm happy to exit that point there, because there's always the potential for it to create a high, pull back, high, low, high, high, and start to trend to the upside and flip some structure in a 30-minute time frame, and potentially on the higher time frames as well. So yes, it has potential to continue to the downside, but if you're asking my personal opinion, should you hold or not, I would say no. I'd delete my drawings. I would say I'd be closing it, in all honesty. Especially leading into the weekend, I wouldn't want to pay the swap fees. It's on break even. Yeah, I'd be definitely trailing it to well into profit. Branko at the pre-break the current M30 candle. Oh, okay. But again, everyone's different. I mean, you might be scalping, you might be swing trading it. It's a different story. I scalp, so for me, I rarely hold on to a position for more than 40 pips is a runner in my books. Gold yesterday, I secured at around 38, 39 was the end result. And that was because price is tapping into a level. Did move a little bit more after it. That was this sell here. That level marked in, it tapped into it, so I decided to close. It was a good closure because it bounced off it in here. Alright, GJ also bouncing, so it's pretty difficult at the moment, guys. I did gold and silver yesterday. Emma, nice one. I'm a big believer in silver. Lachlan, thank you for the follow, my friend. G'day everyone on TikTok and YouTube. Welcome. So gold, it's closed above the support, a little bit indecisive at the moment at the just below the resistance. Like I mentioned though, I prefer to buy it. It's in a big uptrend. Obviously, not only have we got the weekly forming strong bullish, got daily count probabilities to the upside, and we've got structure across the board from the daily, well really from the weekly all the way down to the minor time frames as being bullish at the moment. So definitely preferring a buy on gold if anything, and it's just not giving me any confirmation just yet to look for an entry. Would really like for it to pop down a bit further to give us a little bit more margin from around 24.58. And GJ analysis was spot on, just could not find my way in unfortunately before, and it's pulled back now, so keep a watch on gold. AIMA, AN, waiting for the retrace. Not my favorite pair to be honest, because they're too highly correlated. They're much the same to be honest. Poor old Aussie's copying it at the moment. To be honest, I don't even know why it's not the one currency. It should be the same currency. It's pretty much the same country. Be waiting for a retracement to sell it. That's a good idea. I mean, a potential level for price to pull back to and reject would be, by the looks of it, I'm assuming it's a 4-hour support. It is. This previous support is broken out of on the 4 hours, so that mark it in 109.636 roughly. And notice how, seeing it's against the trend, look what we're doing now. Yes, it's pulling back, but it's just a slow trickle. There is no sustained move to the upside. And what's likely to happen is, once it taps into a level of liquidity, which we've got here, which was previous support, if it does react and that resistance hold, what you're likely going to see is a much quicker sell-off in line with the trend itself. The amount of times you see that happen, I mean, look at it here. Just here, impulse, small trickle up, slow trickle up. Same thing here, slow trickle up, impulse in the downtrend. Same thing here, small pullback, impulse. It's just when markets are trending, that's what you need to look out for. And that's what I'd be looking for in this situation as well. Exactly, we're waiting for a nice one. Follow that tip for a win. Good work, my friend. That's what we like to hear. W's in the chat. Dub City. Quickly check out Bitcoin. It's just stuck in this range right now, so there's nothing really going on with Bitcoin whilst it's stuck in this range. Yeah, you're a bit of a slow burner at the moment. Can you guys in the TikTok, can you hear the music in the background? Oh, I've got the sound effects, guys. What am I doing? Completely forgot about it. I didn't even use it yesterday, I don't think. Bluey's mum, thank you for the follow. Amma, Amma, sorry if I'm probably mispronouncing your name, but thank you for the follow. Appreciate it, guys. Amma. All right, let's see. GJ trying yet again. Thank you for the sub. Still love you guys on YouTube. Not as active as the TikTok guys though, but it's all good. Love across both platforms. All right. Potential catalyst forming on gold. Potential. Weak bullish closure would provide that minor support below resistance, which provides also an entry point. That's if it closes like so, but if it continues to melt at the moment, not valid for me. But it's still not valid because I'm looking to buy it today with the strength of the weekly candle. But if you're after a catalyst to sell, that's what you need to wait for. Something like that to appear. A bit of minor support forming below the previous support and then entry as it breaks it. At the moment, it looks like it's about to break yet again. Now let's go down to the 5 minute and see potentially why. So there's a pullback on a 5 minute, creating a lower high. It's now approaching a support on the 5 minute. It's not my favorite time frame to look for entries. And here it goes, starting to drop. Look at GJ, it's only back on it for a minute. And it's pumping the opposite direction. Next time I'm a scalper too, but I think I'll be trying to hold for the whole month. Just trail the stop loss until it hits. Yeah, at least that's fine. That's not a bad idea. Trailing a stop loss, as long as you're doing that, you're not going to give back too much profit. The last thing you want to be doing is just going to break even, and then you know, wake up and you've been taken out break even, because it could happen. Even though you were on profit, something goes crazy in the news or something, and there's strength through the pound for whatever reason. Last thing you want to do is wake up and you're back at your entry and you've been taken out after having substantial profits on the table. So yes, I think it's a good idea. Just trail a stop loss because you're still going to end up taking a good profit, and it still gives you a bit of room in case it does continue to downside and tap in eventually to your target. So not a bad idea. James, appreciate it, my friend. Thank you. You have a good one, brother, and might catch you over the weekend. Yep, nice one, bro. We're doing a sim session probably maybe tomorrow, but likely Sunday after the webinar, after the Sunday market update. So we do sim sessions pretty much every week. I've only missed 1 week so far off the VIP. So nearly every day of the week there's some live call. Right, MY together for, or pre-MY into the first 30 minutes to an hour for at least 2-3 times a week. There's educational live calls. There's accountability session, which is today after the stream. There's the weekend, the sim session, and the market update. plus all those educational videos already on there. All right, well, it's gonna be a tough one, to be honest, guys. GJ, that was the move. So right now, GJ, what you really need to do, in my opinion, is be really nice to see it actually create a clean pullback to cut through what is some choppy traffic to the upside at the moment. Not interested in buying it into it. I'm not interested in buying it against the trend. Not interested in buying its strength and weekly candle. So I'm just looking to see where we could potentially reject. Ideally, you want it to pop up towards that 190, 50, 40 sort of level and reject for your potential sells to give you more margin. But it doesn't necessarily need to do so. What it may do is we've got some minor resistance at this level here. Let me just mark it in. So just below that 190, 190 flat. So price pulled up to 190 flat, guys. That is also a potential level that I would also look for potential rejection of to sell it. It's the most recent resistance. So now I'm actually going to move that support. Put that back in actually. It sells below. And if that fails, I just wait for it to pop up to 190.45 roughly for another sell option. Now, if you really want to buy it, in my opinion, the best area at the moment is to wait for the 30-minute to flip bullish, and that won't happen until above 190.50. It's psychological round number. If it were me today, I would only be interested in selling GJ. Now, gold, same thing on gold. I would only be interested in buying it as opposed to selling it. And I just wait for the pullbacks. We've got 24.58 as a potential level on the M15. Form support recently at that level on the most recent move to the upside. And aside from that, the next level is 24.54. The support formed above that resistance to the left, or at that resistance to the left. And as long as we remain above it, the 30-minute structure is still going to be bullish. So if we start to close below, back in the range below 24.53, then at that point, then we're going to be starting to put structure bearish in the M30. That could make for a deeper correction. We've got some clean candles to the left as well. But once again, off the back of the strength of the current weekly candle, back there you got daily candle probabilities to the upside. If it were me today, I'd only be interested in buying it. But as per my rules, when the stream ends on a Friday, that is the end for me for a trading week. And I'm about to get going, guys. So fantastic week. Once again on charts, really good week on stream. Strong discipline. Quality entries on stream been quite difficult, few and far between. But all we can do is trade the plan, react if and when the time comes, in accordance to our analysis and the rules, and remain disciplined. And we learn every single week all about how if you just trade your plan, eventually your option presents, as it did yesterday with a GJ option, and then right at the end those gold sells for those of you who are paying attention as well. So in the meantime, guys, if you could, don't forget, hit the like button. If you'd like to know any more about the services I do provide, links are down below in the description. Make sure to join the free Discord community as well. For free, jump in there, say good day. And yeah, to the members, I'll start a new call in about 10 minutes from now. For those of you who are around, jump on, we'll have a bit of a chat. And otherwise, guys, see you all Monday. TikTok, appreciate you. Thank you to all new followers. You have a good one. And YouTube, I'll catch you all on Monday as well. Until then, guys, trade safe. Have a good one. I might upload a video over the weekend. TikTok, I'll upload some shorts for you guys. Have a look out for that. Take care, guys. Cheers.